Hey everybody, Logan here. This video is covering a prequel controller to one I already covered, and that was a controller that was sent to me by BigBig Won, now known as Mojohn. They sent me the Blitz 2 TMR. That is a controller that is for PC as well as Switch and multi-platform such as iOS and Android. Well, I was on Amazon just browsing for controllers because that's what I do from time to time because I like to see all the weird stuff, and for some reason this one popped up and I was like, how come I never thought about the first one? And that's the Blitz. And one thing I noticed about the Blitz, it's got a lot of the same features, no TMR sticks, but it's got the Switch layout instead of the Xbox layout that's on the Blitz 2. And I was like, I really like the Blitz 2. But I'm not a big fan of using a controller on my Switch that has that Xbox layout. I don't know, it's in my head, it just doesn't work for me. So I love the controllers that allow you to switch it, like there's one from Nixie and from GameSir and a couple of other companies that allow you to do that. So this one has that already built in with Mecha Tactile, but it also is multi-platform if you do want to use it for PC and mobile. But yeah, you know what the best part was? It was on sale. It was listed at $23 with another, I think it was 20 or 25% discount. Needless to say, I got it for $19, and I was like, oh, I have to get it because I like the 2. And well, this isn't one that Mojohn is promoting now. They're promoting the new one, and I don't blame them because that new one is a banger. But you know what? Let's go into the past a little bit and test out the Blitz for the Switch. Because you know what? I'm looking for that perfect Switch controller. I thought I found it with the GameSir Supernova. I really think it is the perfect Switch controller. Let's see if this stands up. Hey, look, it stands up. Okay. That was a bad joke. I thought that was going to land a little better, but yeah, I did that simply for this joke. Okay, don't turn off the video. No, bad jokes. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's take a closer look at the original Blitz. So the body looks almost identical, but of course this one's black, the new one is white. Otherwise, the layout, everything is the same. So it just says the Blitz, a Mecha Tactile wireless gaming controller for Switch, Windows 10, 11, Android, and iOS. We are just going to solely test this on the Switch. So remember, you do not get 1000 Hertz. You only get 125 Hertz on the Switch at maximum. So I have seen some register in 130, but every time I've tested, nothing hits above 125 Hertz, so keep that in mind. 16 micro switch buttons, 4 remappable flappy paddles, or as it says, additional buttons, wrap-around rubberized grip, which is always nice. So, blitz your mind. Interesting. 0.5 millimeter micro switch, wrap-around rubberized grip, NFC function, 4 function buttons. Yes, NFC function. You know what that means? Amiibo support. So you have a Switch Pro controller with Amiibo support. Why am I still covering Switch controllers right now? Because of, well, the Switch 2's coming out and a lot of people can't get it, and a lot of people are like, it's too expensive, I'm keeping my regular Switch. So yeah, I'm still gonna cover Switch products as well as Switch 2, and hey, I'm even going to be testing out some of these Switch 1 controllers on the Switch 2 to see what they do, see how well they perform. Now, I also know that a lot of these, actually none of the Switch 1 controllers will wake up your Switch 2, and that's a dang shame, especially when it comes to such good controllers from companies like this. So yeah, pretty orangey and black box. Let's open her up. There we go. Now, In hand, it feels a lot. Actually, it feels exactly like the Blitz 2. The only thing I will say, this controller was handled before it was put into the box because, well, you can see. So I guess in the factory, they may not have been wearing gloves. I don't know. But overall, the controller looks really nice. Now, one thing that this comes with that some of the new one is, because I covered their Mojohn Aether, they're no longer supplying Type-C cables with their controllers because they said they don't want to add waste and it cuts down on the cost. So this one still comes with it because it's the older model, but that's completely fine. I do like that. It's you can tell it's going to be a short cable, but it's meant for charging. But if we go back to the controller itself, those sticks are nice. I love the sticks on the Blitz 2, and it comes straight from here, the Blitz 1. Yep, full mechanical. Now, one thing is, if you do want to use it with the Xbox layout, you do have the little triangles here that have the conversion to Xbox. So if you're using it on PC, PC is pretty much just the same as Xbox in terms of layouts and what they use. Mechanical. Mechanical. That's nice. And claw buttons. I love a good set of claw buttons. That's the only thing I've noticed. The same thing with the other one. It's a little offset, a little far, but not terrible. I still like that. It fits well. Everything's mechanical. And then you have your profile and whatnot buttons down here. Then if you look at the back, a set of programmable flappy paddles. So you got 4 programmable buttons, 2 claw, 2 flappy. That's a nice controller. I mean, they literally took this, made it better, and gave us the Blitz 2. And I think at this price, hey, if you're not really worried about the TMR and you're not going to be using it for those the high hertz, if you're just going to be using it on Switch or mobile, because mobile games do not take advantage of that either, this might be a good alternative if you don't want to spend the money on the Blitz 2. The Blitz 2 is looking at $80, but you can get it on sale. I've noticed there's different variations, and you can, I think the cheapest I've seen it is $49 on sale on Amazon, but I'm sorry, less than 20 bucks. You get this version, and this is solid to me. Let's see, do we have any power? Oh, we got a little bit of power, so it lit up green. That's nice. So, you know what we have to do? Test this on the Switch, of course, come on. Okay, so one thing I'm not a fan of is how to sync the controller. Even though there's a sync button on the top, you have to go into the change grip order. You have to hold the home button and the A button while it's connected to the Switch in docked mode with a USB cable. It will connect, it will sync, and then you will have to go through the syncing process after you disconnect it with the cable, and then blah. So that's not that fun. But it's in the instructions, it's all there. It's just not as simple as syncing with the sync button. It's a little off-putting, a little misleading, if you will. But otherwise, it doesn't take that long. It's just an extra step, which shouldn't be necessary. So, c'est la vie, right? Let's get into the game. So what I do want to test is Crisis, and then I think I'm going to test Shredder's Revenge so I can get a full use of the D-pad as well. So let's pop into Crisis so we can get all the standard features. So it comes up as a Switch Pro controller. Super responsive, like super fast. That feels, that's really nice. I haven't used a Switch controller this snappy in a very long time. But then again, all the Switch controllers I swear I've been using lately, besides 8-Bit Do, have all been these cheap knockoff third-party ones. But hey, that's me trying to find something decent that's inexpensive. The only thing is, I feel that mechanical buttons are overkill on a Switch just because there really aren't that many games in which you'll need something like this. Nothing highly competitive that people play online besides maybe fighting games or something like Splatoon. So I almost feel like it's a waste. It isn't, but I almost feel that way. But then again, most of the games I play do not require any of this except for fighting games. So let's get out of here. And we need to check out gyro. Gyro's nice, pretty on point. Some of the better gyro too. I'm not a person who games with gyro. But hey, if you do, it has it. So let's switch to Shredder's Revenge. All right. So, when you're playing a beat 'em up with mechanical buttons, it can get really loud. Really annoying. D-pad is quick and snappy. That is fantastic. But mechanical buttons on a beat 'em up, I don't like it. But the same thing can be said about a fighting game because you're like clack, 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 constantly clacking. Some people like that, some people don't. But owie. All right. So if I have to make a final call, I think this is a great controller for that price. I think the only issue that I would definitely say is, well, the syncing. Because none of the buttons come pre-mapped, but you do have that option down here. And you can always map it using your PC as well if you do plan on using this with PC. But honestly, I would say if you want to use this on PC or you're looking at this one, go with the Blitz 2. The Blitz 2 is just that much better. I would say this is a better offering for the Switch because you're not spending the extra money on features you won't use when it comes to the Blitz 2. So this is fantastic for the Switch. I just think it might be a bit much, but for the price, I think it's a steal. Especially right now, this is a fantastic controller. It feels great. I like the little colors. It's just a splash, nothing over the top. It feels great in the hand. I'm not sure how I feel about mechanical buttons in general for a lot of the games I play on the Switch, but if you like them, boom, they're great. It feels fantastic. You also have a charge port in case you have the dock for it. And you have the claw buttons as well as 2 flappy paddles in the back. So that's 4 programmable buttons. Now, the triggers are not analog. So if you want to use this on PC, keep that in mind as well. That's why I also mentioned going for the Blitz 2 because, well, you have trigger locks. So I think this is really designed for the Switch because it takes full advantage of everything the Switch offers. Digital buttons, mechanical everything, and well, yeah, it's just got, well, NFC as well. So you've got all that fancy Switch stuff that you would definitely need. Now, when it comes to using this on the Switch 2, keep in mind you can, but you won't have a C button, and you also will not be able to wake your console with this. No third party or any party Switch controllers will wake the console for the Switch 2. Keep that in mind. So I don't know as of recording if these will be compatible with Switch 2 games or if it's just compatible for Switch 1 games on the Switch 2 or Nintendo Switch Online games on the Switch 2. So it's just as of recording, but in a month we will be able to find out. So if you guys have any questions about the Blitz and whether or not you should pick it up, I say yes for the Switch, no for PC. If you're going with PC, go with the Blitz 2. It is definitely the way to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. Tell me what you think about the BigBig Won Blitz, also known as, well, Mojohn now. So, yeah, drop it in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. God bless you all. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.